Bonjour, my name is Amy Kupec Larue. I've been living in Paris for just over 30 years. When I came here as a student, I studied nearby at the Sorbonne, and this was my backyard garden. I then went on to become a florist, and my love of flowers brought me to the many gardens in Paris. Today there are over 500, and we are standing in the Luxembourg Gardens. A 17th century beautiful space that was created thanks to a woman. Her name was Marie de Médicis, one of the two Italian queens who moved to Paris to marry a French king, Henry IV. Following the death of her husband, she decided to move outside of the Louvre, purchased a Hotel Particulier and then additional land to expand a garden. She wished to recreate the ambiance where she grew up in the Petit Palace in Florence. And she brought Italian architects and hydraulic engineers to create this gem. Before she even owned the property, she started planting trees. Over 2,000 elm trees went in to create long alleyways. Her palace has become the French Senate, and there are hundreds of senators that work here making the laws of France. To honor her memory, as well as many of the other French queens and important illustrious women of France, we have 20 statues that ring this space. So today we have about 50 acres here, making it one of the largest parks as well in the city of Paris. Napoleon Bonaparte also had his say in this garden. He wanted to include a lot of activities for children. So the pool of water that's in the center there was meant for them to float boats. You also have ponies that are brought in on the weekends so that children can have pony rides. There are puppet shows, playgrounds, as well as a nursery school in the center of the garden itself. This section of the garden was redesigned in the 19th century when Napoleon III and his assistant, the Baron Haussmann, were redesigning Paris. They wanted to open the city, giving it large avenues, as well as many new public gardens. The style of garden design at the time went from the more regular, classical, French à la Française style to something more natural. And you can see immediately the alleyways here are all curving. There's a large selection of comfortable chairs. At this time of day there are quite a few, but at lunchtime they are full. The lawns are also graced with many, many statues. A total of 106 different sculptures have been placed throughout the garden, including some modern pieces. Next to me here is a collection of heritage apple and pear trees. The Carthusian monks who owned this land from the 12th century up to the French Revolution were known throughout Europe for their fruit trees. Today it's a conservatory with over 1,000 plants and shrubs that display all the different ways that you can prune and grow fruit trees. Luxembourg is adapted to all of its users. There are things for children with playgrounds and puppet shows, but you also have a playground for adults. There's a wonderful bocce court, or pétanque, sometimes also called boule, where adults, men and women, play this game in the afternoon. The courts stretch out in 4 different sections, and you even have coat hangers in the back so that people can hang up their coats and really enjoy the game. The beautiful brick Orangery behind me dates from the 19th century. The plants are kept inside over the winter months, and in the summer months, when it's empty, it's used for exhibitions. I find Luxembourg to be really a true Parisian park. It has something for everyone in all ages. It's used at different times of the day by different populations and enjoyed by everyone.